Is parental love sufficient to protect a child's self-esteem and instill a spirit of confidence in his young mind?
Here's Dr. James Dobson with Family Talk.
Unfortunately, in many cases, it is not. Your child may be convinced that he's greatly loved at home and yet still perceive that you and your spouse don't really respect him. He can know that you would actually give your life for him if required, and yet your doubts about his acceptability may show through. Maybe you're tense and uncomfortable when he starts to speak to guests or outsiders, or you interrupt to explain what he was trying to say, or laugh nervously when his remarks sound foolish. Or maybe you give him an extended lecture when he's going to someone else's house on how to avoid making a fool of himself. It is amazing how well a child can read those subtle clues, which may be signals to him that even though he's loved by his parents, they don't really trust him with their image, that he must be supervised closely to avoid embarrassing the whole family. My point is that genuine love and affection for a boy or girl is only half the task of building self-esteem. The other element of respect must also be added if you are to counterbalance the insults and confidence busters that society will later throw at him. And in that arena, he needs all the help he can get.
Dr. James Dobson with Family Talk.
A prescription for renewed family life could begin with this simple phrase: slow it down.
Here's Dr. James Dobson with Family Talk.
There's no doubt that the modern world has become terribly hectic. People work hard and they play hard, and they rarely have time to talk or even to sit down and rest. This kind of killing pace isn't healthy for individuals or for family life. We all need to creatively waste some time now and then, to walk along kicking rocks and thinking pleasant thoughts. But the whole world seems to conspire against such reconstructive activities. I can provide a simple prescription for a healthier, happier life, but it must be implemented by the whole family. First, add no new time-consuming activity of any type until you agree to remove one of equal dimensions. Second, as a family, you must simply resolve to slow your pace. Learn to say no gracefully. Resist the temptation to chase after more pleasures, more hobbies, more social entanglements. Hold the line with the tenacity of a tackle for a professional football team. Now, this is no easy task in our fast-paced world, but I can assure you that the effort pays off. If the commitment is deep enough, even the busiest of families can slow themselves down and find a new measure of sanity and wholeness.
Dr. James Dobson with Family Talk.
When I was in college, I ran a long-distance race that I will never forget.
Here's Dr. James Dobson with Family Talk.
I didn't win it, but I did learn a valuable lesson about myself and about marriage. It was my freshman year, and I really wanted to win my first race badly. Although I hadn't trained properly, I bounded onto the track full of energy and optimism. At the sound of the starting gun, I tore off as fast as I could run, and I left the pack far behind. By the second lap, however, my side was splitting, and the pack was closing in behind me. Somewhere near the halfway mark, I was sucking air frantically, and my chest was heaving like a great gray whale. I soon collapsed on the infield grass in a sweating heap of failure, losing the race and my pride in one great disaster. But I did learn a lesson that has stuck with me to this day. Marathons are very different from sprints, and you have to learn to pace yourself if you're going to endure to the finish line. And isn't that true of married life too? You have to set a pace that you can maintain through all the ups and downs of everyday living, and make up your mind to let nothing knock you off the track. It's called lifelong marriage, and it sure beats an early collapse on the infield grass.
Dr. James Dobson with Family Talk.